June day, I guess. Last day of June? No. Yeah. 30th of June. And Wednesday, I had a good day, got up early. Man, that was early. I got up about 5 today and went to a study group. We have a Bible study group. Anyway, I had a nice little breakfast, though. I had a bagel, nice little bagel with egg. That was good. Egg and ham, I would say. That was nice. And I got a special guest today that I got acquainted in just the last week or two here, but we're going to bring up Lisa Foydel of the Fox Valley United Way, and she's going to discuss something a little different here that maybe some of you know about and some of us don't, but we're going to talk about 211 in Kane County. So here comes Lisa. She's going to be coming up. And thank you, Lisa, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, John, for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was trying to work with Lisa earlier today on a Zoom operation, trying to get, that was with clergy, and that didn't quite, well, this inexperience of this guy came through there. But we're glad Lisa's with us now and to join us this afternoon on 211 and get connected and get answers. That's what we're going to find out about. And Lisa, explain a little maybe you can give us a little background if you want to about yourself, but explain a little what 211 Kane County is.
Sure. So I live in Batavia, and 211 was started here in Kane County in Batavia. So I'll tell you a little bit about that. But let me just first explain that 211 is sort of become the core infrastructure for people who are looking for any type of human or social services. So rather than dialing 911 the way they would for an emergency, they can dial 211 on their phones and talk to somebody 24/7 in over 150 different languages and tell these people what they're struggling with and get referrals to any one of over 800 non-for-profit organizations and over 1,000 services that we have available here in Kane County. So, as I said, this was started here in Batavia after the Parkland shooting. So the Batavia governments and local authorities got together and said, what would we do here in Batavia if we had a situation like what happened in Parkland? And the answer to that was 211, because in Florida, during the Parkland shooting and the aftermath of that, the citizens were able to call 211 to get updated information on what was happening, and they weren't jamming the emergency phone lines because those needed to remain open given everything that was going on. So we had the people get together, and the United Way of Batavia was the initial sponsor of the program. It is a program sponsored nationwide by the United Way. And in Batavia, or in Kane County, I should say, we brought it on for all of Kane County. And our initial 3 years, we brought it on in November of 2018. And initially, it has been paid for by the Kane County government, Kane County Regional Board of Education, a grant from the Community Foundation of the Fox River Valley, the Dunham Fund, and some other local money. And so it's paid for by the entire county, and it's used by the entire county. So, and John, stop me if you have any questions.
Keep on there. You brought up when we were talking earlier today about this concept of 211 as a county concept. You want to give that a little more play about how that works?
Sure. So here in Illinois, 211 is county by county, which means that each county has their own call center. And our call center is down in Bloomington, Illinois. We use the PATH Crisis Center. PATH is part of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and it's staffed 24 hours a day. PATH hosts the call center for over 40 counties here in Illinois, but not all the counties. So the only information a person needs to give when they call 211 is their zip code. Everything else is completely confidential. But the operator wants the zip code so that they know geographically where to make referrals. So if somebody's calling from Elgin, they want a referral in Elgin, not in Aurora, for example. So that is done by the county. McHenry County also has 211. Kendall County to the south is looking into going live with 211. Lake County recently went live, but we do not yet have 211 in Cook or DuPage County. So we're hoping that they've seen the need for that since COVID and will bring that on board.
So if somebody, does that mean if you're in DuPage, if you dialed 211, you would still get this call center, or you would get zilch?
You don't get anything really. You may get transferred to a different number, but you don't get into.
You don't get down to this Bloomington site.
Right.
Okay, so those counties that don't have this are sort of out of luck, in other words, or whatever.
A little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have the 211 number. We also have a toll-free number for people who might have a prepaid cell phone or who are using an old landline.
Oh, okay.
And we also have texting capability. People can text help to 898-211 and have the conversation that way. And that's very important because young people, people in their teens and 20s are not as used to speaking on the telephone as people my age. So that's brand new to come online in the last 6 months or so, and it's very helpful.
Now, what was that again? It was text to what number?
898-211.
898-211. Oh, 898. Right.
So 211 started back in 1997 in Atlanta, Georgia. And since then, it's been endorsed by both FEMA and the American Red Cross in times of disaster. As I mentioned earlier, it went live back in November of 2018 here in Kane County. So we've been able to look at the data since the beginning of time. And we see that during COVID, call volumes went up greatly because people found themselves in need for the first time in their lives, perhaps. And then people were calling to find out information as well. So now that the pandemic is pretty much over, we have fewer people calling about COVID, but we do anticipate the need for calls to increase once that moratorium on evictions takes place and the $300 supplement payments to the unemployed is no longer available. We expect that we'll have a lot more people calling 211 again. So our numbers have gone down a little bit in these warm summer months, but we fully expect them to go back up.
Yeah, and of course we don't really know if the pandemic is going away.
Sure, we don't know that.
With that COVID, the variant out there, Delta. Now here's a little flyer that's out there that you have, and you got most of it here, but some of the needs that you can help here, there's quite a few. That's a good list there of a lot of different things.
Yeah, that's really just a partial list. I can tell you that every month, our number one need is help paying rent or mortgage assistance. So that's generally right up there at the top, followed by utility assistance, and then, your fairly standard needs. I shouldn't say standard, but they're what we've come to understand as the greatest needs. Food, perhaps people need help finding a job, they need transportation. There's help for senior citizens and veterans, so people can call and get their parents transportation to doctor's appointments or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of resources in our database for mental health and addiction. So people can call and receive referrals for that. Any type of physical groups, if you're looking for help with physical issues, doctors, dentists, whatever. Lots of counselors, crisis intervention. And then, support for young families and families with children. So maybe people need after school programs, or they need childcare, early learning programs. All of those types of things are in the database as well.
Yeah, and Lisa wants to get this word out to groups out there in our community, that church groups, civic groups, just let everybody know about this. If you know of that, you can contact me or call the Fox Valley group over in Aurora there, the Fox Valley United Way, and get a hold of Lisa that way. And she really wants to get the word out about this important services. And we can see on that list, that's a lot of, you said there was about 800, is that what you said?
About 800 organizations with over 1,000 different services. So some organizations offer multiple services. So yeah, I don't have the ability to meet every person in the county, but I try and meet with various groups who
Right.
can go out and tell their constituents, their clients, their parishioners. Faith groups are hugely important to spreading the word about 211, and we do have a lot of churches who offer different services. They're part of our database as well.
Okay. Is that? Oh, then I'll ask that question. How do you get on the database? Is that is that through United Way, or how does that happen?
Well, people can contact me. We initially took the Kane County guide. There was a guide of social services, so that's what we started with. And then as I go out and meet people, I may learn of an organization that's not in our database. So we have them fill out the paperwork and get into the database. So you have to be a non-for-profit, or you can be a for-profit company that maybe has a sliding scale, or you take Medicare, Medicaid, or you're offering a specific program at no charge. So we don't put for-profit organizations typically in the database.
I got you. And this COVID did bring a lot of more people thinking to call you, right?
Oh, absolutely. Our call volume skyrocketed in March of 2020. It about tripled in that month, and it remained very, very high up until just the last couple of months here. But like I said, it's going to go back up, and we want people to know about it.
Yeah, there could be a lot of reasons. We hope. I would hope that the variant doesn't do the damage that some are predicting. But we know that about the housing moratorium too is, I mean, they've been extended a few times, but it's probably going to, I assume it's going to drop sooner or later.
Yeah, sooner or later, something will happen, and people may not be completely ready financially to meet the back rent payments and whatnot.
Yeah, that's very true. So I just want to thank Lisa for having a little time with us. Is there something else you want to touch base on that we missed here about
Well,
211?
I do want to indicate that it is completely confidential. We have translation services available in over 150 different languages. So when people first dial 211, they'll be prompted to, I believe it's to press 1 for Spanish. Otherwise, they go into English, and then we would have to get a translator on the line. But it's completely confidential. And our call center does a very good job of reaching back out to the callers to
Oh, you
find
mean
out
after
if they had their
effect,
needs met.
after the call, initial call.
Yes, they do follow-up calls to make sure people's needs are met and to see if there's anything else that people might need. People may initially think, oh, I need help paying my rent. But then when you dig in a little bit more, you might find out that they're also having trouble finding childcare, or that they're looking for a new job, or whatever the case may be. So it's not just one problem.
Right. One leads, or it's all together. I mean,
Yeah.
intertwined, or whatever we want to use that type of thinking. Yeah,
Right.
that makes a lot of sense. So, Lisa, and so if you have questions to get your group more involved or something along that line, contact the Fox Valley United Way and ask for Lisa. And but just put that in your hat or in your head or wherever, or write it down about 211. Just write it down. Just get it there, and then we got it over to Leland Towers. We put it right by Leland Towers.
Okay, I can tell you my email address is Lisa.Foydel, that's F like Frank, O-Y like yellow, D-E-L, at foxvalleyunitedway.org.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Lisa.Foydel at foxvalleyunitedway.org.
Right.
And I should have put that. Well, we've had a good conversation here with Lisa, and I just wanted to thank her, and just remember this in the days ahead. And we always need help. All of us need help. So at times, so this is very good at what she's doing. So really appreciate Lisa coming by and visiting with us. I got two announcements here. Oh, I didn't do this right on this one. What happened to that? Oh, anyway, we're going to see everybody at 4 on Friday. I thought I had this up right, but I guess it didn't happen. 4 o'clock on Friday, and we're going to be talking with Angie Thomas about her fundraising Walk the Talk 3K for Pregnancy Information Center. That's going to be on Friday at 4 p.m. And as you can see the bottom of the screen, we roll different stuff. One is about the website where we have news and other stuff at XPian News. But remember the shots and with the VNA. I just love the VNA. We had the VNA the other day with us online. And we want everybody to get shots because we're worried about that variant out there. And so that's that. And so again, I just want to thank Lisa for being with us here. And it's been a pleasure to have her this afternoon with us. And so till next time, till Friday, Lord willing, God bless you all out there. And bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, John. Thank you so much.